Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. You might be surprised that I'm on air, surprisingly on Friday, but yes, due to certain reasons, I am here talking to you all. And welcome to the cricket show, everybody, all my dear friends and subscribers. Well, let's get on with business here. And what I'm looking at today on this particular cricket show, there was a wonderful performance coming in from one of the young Pakistani rookie leg spinners by the name Abrar Ahmed. He's called a mystery spinner. He actually is a leg spinner, but I'm told he can not only bowl the leg break and the googly, which a normal leg spinner does, and he's known as the mystery spinner because he also can bowl the carom ball by flicking it from his ring finger. So definitely today he definitely showed that art against England. When England, definitely Pakistan required something where they could come and tame England, and this was the man who tamed England today. When England in their second in the on the first day of the second test were bowled out for 281, but not before absolutely going on a run rampage as they scored a record 180 runs for the opening wicket. 180 runs for the opening wicket was what England scored. Despite losing the wickets, they went hammer and tongs against the Pakistani bowlers, and I think they were 180 for 5, if I'm not wrong, at lunchtime. Now, this is a record. Last time, you remember, they made 174 for none, and here they made 180 for 5 despite losing the wickets. Now, that is the most that a team has scored in an opening session before lunch, and that is quite a score. 180 runs England scored against Pakistan before lunch on the first day of the second test match. And as I said, Pakistan definitely required something that could really, I would say, gnaw into England, and that's what precisely happened. What a brilliant bowling performance from this young bloke by the name Abrar Ahmed. 22 overs, one maiden, 114 runs. He was hit a lot, but it didn't bother him. He purchased the wickets. He took 7 wickets for 114. Now, I'm going to keep the talk on this bloke, Abrar Ahmed. Looking at the wickets that he took, if you look at the wickets that he took, Zach Crawley was the maiden test victim for Abrar Ahmed, as Crawley went on the forward defense and the ball turned past the inside edge and hit the off stump. And that was Zach Crawley gone, bowled by Abrar Ahmed for 19. He also took the first 7 wickets to fall, and that is another record according to me. Ben Duckett was the most confident of all. He was stroking the ball to a nicety. He was, as you know, he's a very good player against spin, which he has already shown. And he was playing his sweeps and reverse sweeps absolutely admirably. And this was one of the sweep shot, which was the ball was tossed up, it's straightening. Duckett went for the sweep, and that's it. It hit him on the middle and off, and he was a goner. And he was the one who really scored the majority of runs for Pakistan, making 63 of 49, 9 fours and 1 6 opening innings. Ollie Pope, who played well in the first test, also once again put a handsome contribution of 60 of 61 deliveries, which included 5 fours. He was victim of the same leg spinner, Abrar Ahmed, as Abrar got his 4th wicket here. Now, this was a simple catch, I would say. It's absolutely catching practice there as Pope went for the reverse sweep shot and the ball scooped up in the air. Backward point was into the picture. Abdullah Shafiq taking the catch, and that was the end of Ollie Pope. That was wicket number 4. But before that, he took a very important wicket of the former England captain, Joe Root. Now, this was a good delivery, I thought, from Abrar Ahmed. Abrar Ahmed is tall, he's bespectacled, and he's also been called the Harry Potter by his teammates. Because he actually, just to give you just a synopsis of Abrar Ahmed, he's a mystery spinner. He played in the PSL in 2018. After that, he vanished because of the injury. but he impressed a lot of people like the former Sri Lankan stalwarts Milo Jayawardene and Kumar Sangakkara. And he also bowled a dream spell to Morgan, and that was what, and it also caught the attention of the then coach Mickey Stewart as well. But as I said, after 2018, his cricket career went a begging due to his very illness that he had. But he again made a comeback into Pakistan's team, into the Pakistani domestic scene, and he started proving himself, started putting out performances that was really admired, and the experts were really taking notice of that. And Joe Root, as I said, got a big turner. The ball really turned. Now, this was a ball, very big turning delivery from Abrar Ahmed. Probably it could have been the height, but then they went for the review. It was a big gap between the bat and pad, one could call, but one does not know. It was Ali Imdar reversing his decision, and Root has to trudge away from the field. But Joe Root was gone. LBW bowler Abrar Ahmed for 8. He was a goner. And then, as I said, Ollie Pope was up at the 4th wicket. The 5th wicket was a big wicket for Pakistan, and in particular for Abrar Ahmed as well, as he picked up the wicket of Harry Brook. Harry Brook holed out to Mohammad Nawaz in the deep, at the mid-off, sorry. In fact, that was the 5th wicket. That was a maiden 5-wicket haul for Abrar Ahmed. I thought he was definitely beaten in the flight, and he ended up downtown mid-off taking the catch. He was a goner, and Ben Stokes, after smoking him for 4 and a 6, was the next victim for Abrar Ahmed, the 6th victim for Abrar Ahmed. This was a wonderful delivery, another good delivery that he bowled after bowling to Joe Root, and this was the England captain himself, who was absolutely bamboozled as his stumps had a walk. As he played, he was absolutely beaten. Beautiful delivery from Abrar Ahmed. Probably Ben Stokes was probably thinking, trying to defend it on the leg side, but the ball basically pitched on the leg side and went and hit the middle and off stump, and that is some sort of bowling against a quality player like Ben Stokes. And then he also had the better of Will Jacks after Will Jacks contributed 31 runs with 1 4 and 2 6s. He tried to review it, but again, this was something which was pitched in line of the stumps, and definitely hitting the stump of Will Jacks, and that is gone. And this was the 7 wickets that Abrar Ahmed took. What a bowling analysis! Yes, he got hit for runs, but look at the bowling analysis of his 22 overs, 1 maidens, 114 runs, and 7 wickets to Abrar Ahmed in his very first Test match. And this is a very proud record that he can. Probably one was thinking that he would go up to 10 wickets and probably emulate Bob Massey of Australia, or probably Narendra Hirwani of India, who took 16 wickets on his Test debut against the West Indies, as you would remember. Normally, some people might not remember, but I do remember. Those were my days of watching cricket. Narendra Hirwani was an absolute phenom at the time when he took 16 wickets against the mighty West Indies in India. And also Alf Valentine is someone, I'm told, of West Indies. The former Alf Valentine is one who has taken 7 wickets before on the first session itself. I mean, not in the first session, on his first day of a Test match. And that is quite a proud achievement for this youngster. Now, what I'm going to do is, the Englishmen were bowled out for 281. They really went all guns blazing, despite losing the wickets. 5 Ashraf 4 overs, 1 man, none for 16. There's definitely some turn in this pitch. So definitely we will see the England spinners, Jack Leach, coming into the action. Will Jacks, I think Joe Root already been given the ball. So definitely England not far behind tomorrow. 5 Ashraf 4 overs, none for 16. Muhammad Ali 6 overs, 1 man, none for 29. But Abrar Ahmed, this figures will be etched in gold for Abrar Ahmed throughout his career. 7 for 114. Zaid Mahmood, the leg spinner, who went taken for runs, probably, as I think, probably Abrar Ahmed would have gone on to take a 10-wicket bag, but it was Zaid Mahmood who picked up 3 wickets for 63 to clean up the tail. 7.4 zone 3. There was some resistance from Mark Wood, who really thrashed the Pakistani bowlers, making unbeaten 36 of 27 deliveries, which included 8 very good boundaries. Zaid Mahmood 363, Mohammad Nawaz, who was inducted into the Test side, total was no more than 46. Azhar, it was a bit sorry to see Azhar Ali not in the picture. Azhar Ali was being left off from the team, unfortunately. And I think Azhar Ali is someone, according to me, is so technically perfect. I think he should be playing in every test match that Pakistan plays. I was a bit surprised there. Let me tell you that. Now let's talk about Abrar Ahmed. Now Abrar Ahmed, yes, we saw that England went on swinging despite wickets falling, and Abrar Ahmed picked up 7 wickets. Now, this is something, what is more important is to see how Abrar Ahmed goes. Probably this will be a very good wicket for him because the ball is already started turning, and we have another 4 days left. And Abrar Ahmed, England are the ones. In fact, it would be Pakistan would be batting last. So England, for one, would have been saved. It would be interesting to see, and I think it would pose quite a problem because now this is something. Now the reason I'm saying this is because these videos are not seen by anybody. Normally, nowadays, with all the social media and everything, it's very the coaches actually look at the videos. The players watch the videos, then they know what are the strengths and weaknesses of the players. But now this is Harry Brook. This is Abrar Ahmed, who is an absolutely surprise packet right now. So what they would do basically is definitely they would watch some videos of of this particular game that went on. I'm sure the England think tank will sit around a circle and just watch it. But again, to judge him right away, it's going to be difficult. As I said, he's a mystery bowler. He has a good leg spinner. His leg spin is not very quick. So it's a slow turner. That's what Ben Duckett said. And Ben Duckett said they would be keeping the same approach against Abrar Ahmed in the second innings as well, because they feel he's not a big of a threat, even though he's a mystery spinner. They feel that they can read him very well. He has a good wrong one. And besides that, he also has the carom ball. Now, that is the mystery spinner I'm talking about. A leg spinner also having a carom ball to bowl, flicks it from this ring finger. So that is going to be pretty interesting. So what is going to be interesting is that how England players shape up, whether they go with in the same aggressive vein, or they started giving respect to Abrar Ahmed and start thrashing the other bowlers. So that would be something that I would like to really see as to how England shape up there, whether they still have the baseball cricket going on despite that. That would be the one thing. And the second thing that one would like to know, the mystery spinners, when they come, as you know, Ajanta Mendes of Sri Lanka came in. He was a threat. He started bamboozling the Indian batsmen, the Australian batsmen. But later on, people picked him up and they started playing him. And carom ball became something which was a thing. And carom ball is not something new that the players have been playing in the IPL. They have various leagues they are playing. They have a lot of leg spinners operating. Ravichandran Ashwin, they have played a lot of Ravichandran Ashwin as well. So, but what is the main thing is to see how England basically shape up. But I think in this particular test, since England does not have much knowledge of Abrar Ahmed, I have a sneaking feeling that he's going to be tough. Whatever be the England's approach, I think England are going to have a tough time in this second test. But later on, probably England might conquer him. So that is a different thing altogether. Now, this is where the test comes in for Abrar Ahmed. Can he do a double against England? So definitely, I think Pakistan are definitely looking good. But again, as I said, the ball is already started turning here in Multan. And if the ball is going to turn England are not far behind. Let's have a look at the Pakistan card. The Pakistan finished at 107 for 2 at close of play. Abdullah Shafiq was the first victim. Now, let's see. Imam ul Haq was the first victim. It was Scott Pope bowled Anderson for not. And that was, it was basically a shot of a good length delivery, extra bounce, surprised him. And the ball also moved away. And that was the end of Imam ul Haq. Abdullah Shafiq was a victim of the bowling of spinner Jack Leach. Now, this was enough turn was there. On the very first day, we are talking about turn on the pitch. And Shafiq wanted to defend it with a straight bat, but he was a goner. He was caught Pope. At the close of play, I thought Babar Azam really showing his skill there as he collected an unbeaten 61 and he was not afraid to play his strokes. He played his strokes with gay abandon. He was not out on 61 with 9 fours and 1 6. Saul Shakir, who did well in the first Test match with the bat, was not out on 32. So definitely, we know that Pakistan are someone in the subcontinent. You're always bred on spin, born and bred on spin. So definitely, Pakistan will stand a chance here, and I think Pakistan have done well to score 107 for 2. Looking at the ball, 1 for 144. Now, and they have also used the spinners. They've got Joe Root into the mix, 6 overs, 1 minute, none for 21. Will Jacks, 4 overs, none for 18. So I think, Pakistan can't take it lightly. They have to be on their guard against as the ball is also turning. So you can't really take Jack Root very right. Will Jacks has taken 6 wickets in an unresponsive pitch in the first Test match. So definitely watch out, Pakistan. I think we're having a very interesting match ahead here, despite 2 wickets being claimed by England. And another thing, as I said, what is important will be Abrar Ahmed. Yes, in this Test match, I think it is going to be difficult for England, but I'm sure England will conquer him later. So Abrar Ahmed, definitely a wonderful debut for him. This young leg spinner has got a memorable debut here, and I'm told he has already been making waves in the Pakistani domestic circuit. So good luck, Abrar Ahmed. Well done. Let's get on to the next match from here. We are talking about Australia versus West Indies, and we are on day 2. And day 2, in the second Test, West Indies unfortunately have a lot of injury problems. There's no Kemar Roach, Marka Mindley. Just in 2 days back, he was flown to Australia. I'm told he's having good pace. Yes, he did have raw pace, but in 2 overs, he had to limp off the field with a hamstring, and that is not something that West Indies needs. So West Indies definitely pretty crippled at that. As far as the bowling resources are concerned, Alzari Joseph is only the strike ball, and Jason Holder with all his experience. But Markina Mindley was not there. Anderson Phillip was included. There's no Kemar Rose. There's no Jaden Seals, who's also injured. So plethora of injury problems. Devon Thomas did well with the ball. I thought, and Kyle Mayers can't even bowl, and that's where Devon Thomas was making a comeback in the West Indies cricket at the age of 33. Did a fine job for himself. 14 overs, 1 minute, 53 runs and 2 wickets. I thought he was the pick of the bowlers. Let's look at the Australian card there. Day 2, as it stands at the pink oval, the Australians declared the innings close at 511 for 7, declared a mammoth score at that, with the Australians having some big centuries coming in from Manas Labuschagne. Now, he has gone into a stupendous record here against the West Indies. It's only the former Indian great, Sunny Gavaskar, who made 3 centuries, consecutive centuries against the West Indies. And then we have Mohammad Yusuf of Pakistan, who made 3 centuries against the West Indies. Now, he becomes the third cricketer to score 3 consecutive centuries against the West Indies, inclusive of the double century that he hit. He went on to a big score of 163, 14 boundaries included in that. Travis Head got his 2nd Test century, and this was a marvelous century. And especially after getting his ton, he went absolutely slam bang. 175, 24s included in that knock. And these 2 were the pillars of the Aussie score of 511 for 7 declared. David Warner in the news for all the certain things that have happened. David Warner, 21, 4 boundaries. Khwaja played a good hand there, 62, 9 boundaries. Stephen Smith was gone for a blob. 9 to Cameron Green, lost his stump, so Alzari Joseph who bowled well, I thought. 41 coming from Alex Carey's bat. Michael Nasser getting an opportunity because of Cummins not playing. Made 18 before LBW bowled Brathwaite. 511 for 7 declared, a tall total raised by the Aussies. Definitely looking a pretty score there. Let's look at the bowling card from the West Indians. Crippled with injury. I feel really sorry for them because the Australians are very powerful, and if you don't have your the best bowling lineup, it's going to hurt you. That's what precisely has happened. Alzari Joseph, 31 overs, 4 minutes, 107 runs and 2 wickets. Magnificent bowling from him. Holder 1 for 68. I thought he did a decent job there. Roston Chase, 30 overs, 1 minute for 117. Markino Mindley flown in, had a lot of pace when he was bowling. Unfortunately, 2 overs, no maiden, none for 11, had to limp off the field, which is very sad. Anderson Phillip also bowled, could have still bowled much better than what he showed. 26 overs, 2 mains, 115 runs and no wicket to his name. Craig Brathwaite picked up that 1 wicket, 1 for 35. But Devon Thomas, as I said, really, as I said, Kyle Mayers, who did a very good job in the first Test match against Australia, unfortunately could not bowl. And Devon Thomas, I thought he really filled up very well. 14 overs were maiden, 53 runs and 2 wickets besides his name. West Indies in the first innings, definitely with, as you know, in day-night cricket, when the lights are put on, there's a dew factor as well. And I thought the Aussies took full advantage of that. And they really put the West Indies innings into a real bind here, as the West Indies closed the innings at 102 for 4 on the first day of the pink ball test at the Adelaide Oval. Brathwaite was the first to go. Now Nesser was Craig Brathwaite was the first to go. And Michael Nesser, who came in, and as you know, he has been doing very well in the Australian domestic circuit. A beautiful delivery, I thought, from Michael Nasser. The ball nipped away and just had that sort of a feather edge, as you say, picked it up from Brathwaite. Brathwaite, is a very good, very technically perfect batsman, but the ball just got that bit of an edge and struck his edge of the bat and was neatly taken by Carey behind the sticks. And Brathwaite was gone. Caught Carey, bowled massive now and then. 2 fours included in that. But again, the next wicket to go, it was once again Nasser back into the business. He had dropped Shamar Brooks of his own bowling when he hit him back to it, but he made up for it pretty easily. A wobble seam delivery, and Brooke was probably trying to defend that delivery. And again, the ball nipped away, scratching the outside edge of the bat of Shamar Brooks. And once again, Carey back into business, taking the catch. And 45 for 2 at the stage. And then Nathan Lyon came into the picture. And Nathan Lyon, really, as you know, Nathan Lyon is such a good bowler. He just tossed up the ball. Blackwood went for the drive. But again, the ball hit the higher part of the bat and looped up in the air. And Nathan Lyon had absolutely no problems picking up that catch. And then Devon Thomas, who did well with the ball, could not do much of the bat, as he was castled by Cameron Green on a link, because he tried to, he just tried to play the ball a bit late. But again, it was justice to the utter chagrin of the Aussie spectators. Devon Thomas chopped the ball. To the absolute delight, I would say, of the Australian spectators, Devon Thomas chopped the ball onto his stumps. 90 for 4 was the and also let's talk about 102 for 4. But one would be wondering as to how the score is 102 for 4. The reason being, the son of Shivnarine Chandrapal, who had a magnificent debut in the first test against Australia. In the second test, he was unconquered on an unbeaten 47 with 3 fours and 1 6. I think Shivnarine Chandrapal is someone who has really arrived for West Indies, because the reason I say that is because you've been playing red ball cricket, and then you come into pink ball cricket under the lights, and this bloke has really sort of weathered the storm from the Australian bowlers. As I said, Mitchell Starc was bowling in the right areas, 11 overs, 3 minutes, none for 32. Scott Boland, 10 overs, 3 minutes, none for 13, bowled without a bit of luck, one could call. Michael Nasser was all over the batsman, 9 overs, 3 minutes, 2 for 20. Nathan Lyon, 4 overs, 1 for 13. And Cameron Green, 1 for 23. But definitely a word for Shivnarine Chandrapal. He not only really started reining himself into the crease as he saw the wickets being falling at the other end. And finally, only towards the deep end of the night, I would call, he started unveiling some strokes. He also hit a 6 as well. And he was unconquered on 47, 3 fours and 1 6, continued 98 balls. He has already shown his staying capacity as the West Indians close the day at 102 for 4. So great job, West Indies. Definitely, not great job, I would say great job, Australia, but a great knock by Shivnarine Chandrapal. And that's what really it's all about. And I think, the Aussies will definitely go very hard on the West Indies, no doubt about it. It's 37 hours old, so probably the Aussies, the West Indians might try to get some runs. They still have some batting still to come. Chandar Paul is in the middle. Henderson Phillip has come in as a night watchman. He's not out on one. He has eked out 1 run of 17 balls, which is understood, coming in as a night watchman. They have Jason Holder and Joshua De Silva still to come. Rustin Chase is another good all-rounder. Alzari Joseph can bat. So definitely there's some batting still left in this. But it's all about Tegnaran, Chandra Paul holding his other end, and the other batsmen actually not giving away the wickets, but actually staying with Chandra Paul to really see to it that they can challenge this Australian total. But yes, it looks a stiff ask, but nevertheless, we are looking at something here. And I think that it's really looking good. So, well, dear fans and subscribers, it was an absolute pleasure. So, one more match coming up tomorrow. India, Bangladesh would be aiming for a clean sweep against India at Chattogram in the final one-day international that is coming up. India has injury worries. Rohit Sharma is out of the mix. Abhimanyu Ishwaran has been called in from the playing for India A against Bangladesh A. So that is interesting. And also the bowling worries. There are some bowlers who are also not fit. So definitely, I think Bangladesh will have a good chance to go 3-0, but it's a matter of India really putting a stop to it, putting a full stop to it tomorrow, and salvage something out of it by getting a win. So can India stop the Bangladeshis tomorrow from making their first ever clean sweep of India in a one-day international series? Well, dear fans and subscribers, an absolute pleasure bringing you this cricket show, Cricket Happenings. Hope you all loved it. Tomorrow, keep yourself tuned. I'll be back with the third day's play in the match between Australia and West Indies, the second day's play between England and Pakistan, and a full match analysis between India and Bangladesh in the final one-day international. Until then, it's goodbye from your host, Ram. Thank you.